The Lord speaks to us through his word. Many Christians cannot even graduate to hearing the voice of the Lord, the occasional voice of the Lord, because the written voice of the Lord, sorry, this is just my journal, but let's just pretend it was my Bible, which is too far away off camera. They don't obey the written word. See, the word will say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then you won't obey that. You will do all the things to others that you definitely would hate them to do unto you. So you're disobedient to what is written. You know, the Bible says that if you see one who is in need and hungry, don't just pat him and say, oh, go and be filled and the Lord be good to you. Many times the Lord gives me this impression of a person who is wealthy passing the home of somebody who is not wealthy. It kind of feels like a woman of South American descent in that house who has many houses. And this vision comes to me so often that I think it might actually be a real person who is doing this, or several real people. So I see a person who is well off, a male that walks past a place where a woman who has about 4 or 5 or even 6 children lives. And in his heart, he knows that that family is not doing well. He knows that that family is struggling, but he does not take the natural step to simply get groceries and take it to the lady and say, you know what, I don't know you, but just simple math has told me that you are a single mother with 5 or 6 children, and that I am doing absolutely no harm by bringing you these 6 or 7 bags with beef and with cornflakes and with tons of milk and tons of bread and tons of cheese and jam and peanut butter and things that I know that children consume per second. Children are like vacuums for food. And this person does not do that. And the impression in the heart of this person is, I'm waiting for God to tell me to do it. So we see what is good to do. We observe it every day in our lives, but we don't do it because we want a special prophetic word before we act on it. And the Lord was making me understand that that is just the arrogance and pride in the heart of his people. The reason that they do it is not because they don't feel the nudging of the Spirit, or not because they haven't read the words of the Lord, which is to do good unto others. They want to hear God specifically say it, so that when they're telling the story later, they can say, and then the Spirit of the Lord said to me, go to house 408 and give them grocery. You see, the story doesn't sound as good if we can't add the prophetic part into it that the Lord spoke. And yet, the Bible also says that when you do good, your left hand shouldn't even know what the right is doing. So you shouldn't even be telling anyone. If you take people grocery, if you help to pay off someone's student loan, if you're paying someone's rent, or if you're helping to pull your brother out of a ditch, these are not even things that you should be bragging about or boasting about, because the minute you do them, you lose your eternal reward with the Lord. And so it's difficult for many people to hear the voice of God in our times. Now,